way, he was so fixated and so concentrated, like we get. We are just, like a horse with blinders on. We're just bumbling, just bowling, just going, boom, 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 going as fast and hard as we can to what we want. That we don't know where we're going or where we have ended up or how we got there. And that's what happened to him. Before Charlie knew it, he was standing on the front porch of a humongous castle, old ancient castle, had no doors. No handles on the doors for him to get out into the castle. But he looked down and he said, I can't ever remember seeing this before. Well, the castle was somehow, some way suspended in midair. Midair. And he was going to try to get off the castle because he didn't want to be up there. That was so ludicrous. But before he could go down the 14 stairs that had taken him up there, the wind began to blow so hard and so ferocious. That's what happens too in our lives. We have so many things along the way, calamities and crises and chaos, but we still keep going. We just cling like he did. He clung to that red carpet for his dear life. And he was, just saying, how in the world this happened? What's happening? Please open up the door. Well, there was a little teeny 6-inch flap at the bottom of that door that opened, and a mechanical voice yelled out, the only way out is in. The only way out is in. Well, he said, well, I'd gladly get it. I'd like to go in. That's what I'm trying to tell you, but I don't know how to get in there. I think we talked about how in another show. Well, the mechanical voice said, you have the entrance, the code of entrance. And of course it was that bracelet. This bracelet is my code of entrance? And anyway, the doors opened and he goes on this journey. And he does go on a journey. But on his journey, he meets a little guy, not right off. This is halfway through the book, as you can see. And so I'm going to see, because I'm tying it into this, whatever this hour has been. And he is talking to Maybe So. And Maybe So is a 3-foot cowboy. Well, how often do you travel this particular road where we happen to be right this minute? How often do you travel this particular road where we happen to be right this minute? How often, Mitzi, will you travel this road again where you're standing this moment at this time on this day in this century in this global sphere of activity in the galactic composition of whatever it is, wherever it is, however it is? Every now and then. Although the little non-smoking man took liberty in tripping Charlie's mad buttons, he was determined not to let him get the best of him. He decided to take another approach. Do you have a name? Maybe so. Maybe so. What did he mean? Did he mean he minded telling Charlie, or did he not have a name? Charlie concluded the little guy enjoyed playing games. I would write another book and title it that. How we all play games. You're shaking your head, Mitzi. Would you put it in all caps? We all play games. None of us won't say what it is we want to say, even though it's being said without us saying it. Okay, let me see. So what's your name? Since I told you mine. Now look, I want something from you. So I gave you my name, so you'll give me yours back. I expect you to do that. If I'm doing something for you, aren't you going to do something for me? That goes back to the paper. So what's your name, since I told you mine? Excuse me, but you didn't tell me your name. Yes, I did. But we are so focused and so intent living inside of ourselves, we're not conscious of what's going on the outside because we are so determined to keep our own thoughts in line, so we keep saying it over and over and over and driving until we think Well, I think a good thing would be we repeat ourselves endlessly. Why do we need to repeat ourselves? All right. Yes, I did. Well, I missed it. Could you tell me again? I wasn't paying attention because I was involved in what I'm involved in, because I'm trying to make all these plans and ideas to make sure that what I want comes to pass. That's not in the book. That's interpreted on all of the book. Maybe so, maybe so, maybe so. Oh, could you tell me again? Maybe so. Like I said, you are sure a strange one. Maybe so, maybe so, maybe so, Charlie stammered. You may think I'm the one confused, but at least I know my name. My haughty self. I know who I am. I know what I know. That's why I always ask, who's at the door? Who was that on the phone? What's in the newspaper? What's going on in the world? I've got to know, and I'm the one that knows, and I'm going to be the first one to tell you because I'm so special. We want to think that about ourselves. We have this burning, yearning, earning urge. How about that earning urge? To be the one in the know. We're just one of many. We're just one of the little chickens scratching around down here on earth. But nobody wants to take that. Pleased to meet you, Charlie Braxton. Oh, I know my name. It's Charlie Braxton McRoy. Pleased to meet you, Charlie Braxton McRoy. He grinned real big, showing the 3 teeth he possessed when he spit out Charlie's name. Charlie felt a little bit embarrassed, not knowing the other man's name. He did not want to have to ask him again. He simply clammed up and would not speak. And that is what we do. We want something from another. When you want something, especially from someone, you will suffer. We want something from someone so bad that we start projecting ideas, thoughts, interpretations, analyzations of what the other person is thinking, wanting, or doing. Now, there is no way possible that you or anyone, me or anyone else in this whole world could know that. The only thing that you're doing is emptying out the contents of your own confused mind. That's all you're doing. You're never in a position to say what someone else feels, wants, has, is not. They are your ideas, and they are circumvented by what it is that is going on with you at the time and what your needs and desires are. And when we want something so bad, we misconstrue everything. And not only do we misconstrue, we start adding to the story. If it's a story of fear, that we're not going to get it, then we start looking for clues that will substantiate our own insecurities. Then added to that, we will start to compete and compare. We'll compete not only with the other, but with ourselves on how and what to say to be able to contrive the circumstances, situation, and events to end up the way that we want, or so we think we want. And that is the journey of desire. That is the suffering of wanting something from someone else. Paula, are you saying then that relationships are not necessary? That's the last thing I'm saying. And if you are hearing that, then that is something within you that you have projected out, and it is also your journey of desire to understand how deeply and poetically that those words resonate with you. Relationships are not necessary. They are not necessary to contrive. They are not necessary to go in search of. They are not necessary for your happiness, your contentment, your fulfillment, your completion. You are already happy, complete, fulfilled, and content within yourself. And what you're doing whenever you form a relationship, we're talking about people now. I'm not talking about food and all the rest of it, because relationships are with everything. I got a relationship with this pen, Sharpie. But whenever we do these things, we are always in search of improving our lot, and somehow. We think that's what we need to do. but it's not true. It's not true at all. So let me, what I want to do, I was going to, let me see, where am I going to do? I'm not going to turn that book. We're not going to get that deep today, Paula. We're going to go into, let's see what we want to do. We'll go into this one. Inside degrees, but I'd have to have a degree. All right, well, I got some charts here. Let me see, Scorpio. Okay, this particular individual in his progress chart, not his natal chart, and there are two terms for astrological search. If you are so inclined, you can look those up. Natal, Natal, or progressed, but I'm dealing with the progressed chart of this individual. And the degrees happens to be 1122 rising, Libra. So that means I'm going to read it at 12 degrees, Scorpio. Let me see if I can find 12 degrees Scorpio. Might be at the back of the book. It is. For this individual, let's see what's going on with him. Mitzi. I have so much fun doing this show. That's why I do it. I don't do it for any other reason. I do it because I have so much fun. Do you think that pulling this at random, because my whole deal, my whole unfoldment, my whole involvement, our whole involvement as a society, human, global, planet, citizenry race, is to evolve and to incorporate everything that is. And so in this hour of cosmic therapy, mode of cosmic therapy, I try to show that you don't have to do anything. It's already done. All you got to do is pick up on it. You got to get in tune with it. It's not going to get in tune with you. You have to get in tune. I use that tune word on another show. But anyway, in this particular show, we're talking about trees, aren't we? It's been a long journey to get here. So we're talking about trees. So I picked up one of these charts. I could have picked up any of them. I got some from out of that back. I never unpack it or anything, but here's a whole bunch of charts that I've been waiting to go over sometime on one of these shows. Well, today happened to be the day that I decided. So I chose this one. And this particular individual, like I said, had 12 degrees, Scorpio rising progressed. Sounds like some type of foreign language, I know. But anyway, "12 degrees, Scorpio, rising." On another show, I went into the rising, also known as your ascendant, rules your personality. And the personality, since we're talking about trees and transformation and the journey, of desire, our personality, which is the first thing that people see when you're encountered. That's the first thing that they see, regardless of what your sun sign is or your moon sign or anything else. They're going to see that personality because it's a mask. If I have time, I'm going to, break down these words. Okay. But anyway, in this particular individual, he has 12 degrees Scorpio rising on his progress chart. Now, there are people who are born with this degrees, as their moon. It could be their sun. It could be their personality. It could be any number of planets. But anyway, in this individual, this is what he has. So he is dealing and showing the world this particular mask. Also, our personality is the thing that we are transforming. It is the thing that we are ripping away. We are not trying to exalt it, to make it better. None of those things. The entire sequence of shows that I've done, I hope I've implanted the idea that you are in a process of being transformed and dissolving away. You're learning how to die. correctly. Okay. Here it is. Gnarled, twisted trees against an overcast sky. Gnarled, twisted trees. Against an overcast sky. So there's no sun shining there, is there? The sun's hidden, isn't it? That 19, the illumination I've been talking about, is hidden behind those clouds. But it's nonetheless there. It's there. In fact, if you go to the beach on an overcast sky, you're going to get your body burnt if you're not careful. All right, so let's see what this particular individual has to say about this guy's progressed personality for this year. Seeing the worst, feeling the worst, knowing the worst. Seeing the worst, feeling the worst, knowing the worst. When we get involved in relationships, going back to my little paper, and we want something, especially from someone, the suffering begins and we see the worst, feel the worst, and know the worst. Meaning, we start doubting ourselves. We start doubting the relationship. We start interpreting so many things about ourselves as far as what we're not doing or should be doing or could be doing or would be doing or what we've given up or what we're going to give up or whatever. Feeling the worst and all of that. When I want something and I'm not getting it either from you or from another, then I immediately feel the worst that I can possibly feel because I feel like that you're withholding something from me. You're withholding a source of my happiness. Well, what's the next thing that's attached to that? Anger. And a sense of helplessness because I can't do anything about it. You have the power. So what you have to do is take yourself back. You have given yourself away, take it back. And knowing the worst. In tune with darkness, difficulty, and melodrama.